his own. And Mitchell Boggs finished off a game that was started by Adam Wainwright. Redbirds would win easily. Then in game 2, the return of Jeff Suppan. Milton Bradley got him for a home run, but that was it. 4 innings for Soup. Home run for Colby. RBI base hit for Brendan Ryan. And Albert with number 15 as the Redbirds rolled in game 2. Now they look for a sweep, and welcome to Cardinals baseball. Along with my partner Al Raboski, I'm Dan McLaughlin. The Cardinals bullpen, Al, in game 2, very much an important factor last night. Suppan gave you 4 strong innings. After that, the bullpen was very good.
Well, the bullpen knew they were going to get in that game. They knew they were going to pitch a lot of innings, and they did the job. A lot of guys were going out there. We do have enough arms for tonight's game, but the bullpen was key in that victory last night.
Now let's take a look at the starters, and the Cardinals have seen him before. Jason Vargas, former National League starter, a lefty. This is the 3rd lefty in a row for the Cardinals that they'll face.
And they're all very similar. Now, this guy's pitched very well this year. A lot of quality starts. He is winless on the road, and that's been carrying on for a long time. You can't say that about Jaime Garcia. 6-2 on the year. He has the 2nd best ERA in the major leagues. And here at home, he's almost unhittable, where he's 2-0 and has an ERA, the best in the major leagues, at 1.16.
Next to pitching, what about the offense? At times it was stagnant on the road trip, but first 2 games of this series, Cardinals have had production up and down the lineup.
Well, we changed the lineup a little bit. Holiday in the 2 spot, Ludwig in the 4 spot, and Kobe Rasmus is really hot. He has 6 home runs this month in only 11 games. That's 6 home runs, ties his career high for 1 month. Already, he should break that this year.
All right, speaking of home runs, when we come back, we'll take a look at the Home Run Challenge. One of the great initiatives by baseball. A look at that when we return. On his 15th home run last night. We saw earlier this year, Al, the Cardinals connected a bunch.
They've hit 63 on the season. That's 5th most in the National League. And tonight, each home run means a lot of money.
That means that we are participating in the Home Run Challenge. And tonight, every home run in this game raises $17,000 For prostate cancer research, you can make a pledge by calling 800-798-CURE. That's 800-798-2873. Or just head online to www.pcf.org. Colby Rasmus in the lineup and swinging a hot bat. A look at Ichiro and Albert, though, two of the best in the game when we come back. AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces, serving in 175 countries and aboard ships at sea. They're watching around the world in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, Japan. Welcome, all those who serve our country and enjoy baseball tonight. You'll get a treat because you'll see two of the game's finest in Ichiro of the Seattle Mariners and Albert Pujols.
American League Rookie of the Year back in 2001. We've seen a home run, 420-plus feet, and also a patented infield single from Ichiro. Albert, no surprise, as he's driving the ball. Both these guys have hit .333 throughout their career. Albert was the National League Rookie of the Year in 2001. As you look at a simple comparison between their careers, one thing that's obvious, neither one of them missed many games. A lot of at-bats, a lot of hits, and a great batting average.
Ichiro Suzuki, Albert Pujols, those two on display tonight. Mariners and Cardinals coming up. It'll be the sixth straight start at shortstop for Brendan Ryan. We'll take a look at that when we come back. Sweep tonight, and Brendan Ryan has been doing it lately with the glove and at the plate.
Everyone talking about his at-bats. He's had 2 hits in each of the first 2 games of this series, and he's looking for more tonight.
Well, you'll be looking now at our Fan of the Game photo submitted by Joe Curtis of O'Fallon, Missouri. Great photo here. The winner of our Fan of the Game photo contest. Joe wins a pair of polarized sunglasses from Clarkson Eye Care. Every week is a new contest with a new winning photo. All you have to do is head to foxsportsmidwest.com to send us your photos and enter to win. Jaime Garcia gets the start tonight against Vargas. It's the Seattle Mariners against Brendan Ryan and the Cardinals next. Flavor and a crisp, clean finish. It's what we do. By Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers, #1 for quality tires and expert auto service. By Steak and Shake, life needs flavor. By Chevy's expert auto service. See your Mid-America Chevy dealers or shop and compare at stlchevy.com. And by Casino Queen Hotel and Casino, home of the loosest slots. Beautiful night for baseball. It'll be an off day tomorrow for the Redbirds. And then Oakland will be in town for interleague play. Cardinals looking for a sweep over Seattle. And here's a look at the Mariners lineup. Suzuki, Ichiro will lead things off, batting .341. Then Sean Figgins at .228. Milton Bradley also at .228. Jose Lopez and Josh Wilson. Then Ryan Langerhans. Alfonso, Saunders, and Vargas. And they will face one of the top rookies in baseball, Jaime Garcia, and his numbers presented by Marshall Wireless Sprint.
He's been outstanding here in his rookie season, 6-2. That ERA is second best in the major leagues. At home, it is the best in the major leagues, 2-0, 1.16. I mean, really controls the left-handed hitters.
Matt Holliday, Colby Rasmus, and Ryan Ludwig in the outfield. David Freese, Brendan Ryan, Felipe Lopez, and Albert Pujols along the infield. Jaime Garcia and Yadier Molina, those two the battery tonight. And Around the Horn is presented by Dobbs. So here we go in the first inning. Ichiro leads it off, and the first pitch is taken at the knees and a strike.
Left-handed batters are only batting .173 with no home runs against Jaime, but this is no typical batter.
As we talked about throughout the first couple of days of this series, one of the bright spots of interleague play is seeing players you normally don't get the chance to take a look at, and our fans certainly, with their great baseball knowledge, have enjoyed watching Ichiro.
9 straight seasons of 200 hits or more. He has the longest hitting streak in interleague play at 19 games. And every year he's been in the big leagues, he's been an all-star.
And he slaps it past David Freese. He was playing in, and it's off the sidewall, and Ichiro has his second double in this series.
Now 20-game hitting streak in interleague play. Second highest batting average in interleague play all time. So you see where the third baseman playing in, and where there's the rifle shot there, very little chance for David Freese to react or haul it in.
And with his combination of being able to hit and all the infield hits and his speed, got the hitting lanes that open up, and he's able to really place the ball where he wants to.
There's no doubt about it. It's always around the league leaders in, infield hits.
And in steps Sean Figgins. He was their big free agent signing. Signed him away from the Angels in their own division. Off to a slow start. Couple of hits in this series. That was in game 1. And his average at 228.
Last couple of weeks he's hit just under 300 as that average is creeping up.
Outfield is very shallow, and he bunts it foul.
It's one thing about Figgins is he plays small ball. He manufactured a run in game 1 in the first inning, but he can lay down a bunt to advance Ichiro. Has that very good speed. You see how shallow the outfielders are, playing them around to the opposite field. Big gap out in left center. He's a very good player, but he doesn't have much power.
1 ball, 1 strike, and bunts it foul again. Second place hitter with not a lot of power. He's got to be able to bunt.
And I'm sure he's one of those type of small ball players that can bunt for a base hit very well, but when you ask him to sacrifice, it's hard for him to stay in the batter's box. He wants to run.
Ichiro, the runner at second base, they're keeping him close. 2-strike pitch misses in, and it's 2-2. Home plate umpire is Gary Cederstrom. He's the crew chief. Ed Hickox at first, Fielded Colbreth at second, and Marty Foster at third. 234 average for Figgins with runners in scoring position. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Leadoff double by Ichiro. He stands at second. This is in again. Now Garcia, not to say that he's hit a bump in the road because he's just been so good for the first month and a half, but his last 2-3 starts haven't been as smooth as they were earlier on this year.
But he still has that ability to win when he doesn't have his good stuff. He's made 12 previous starts, 10 quality starts out of those, and the last one he didn't qualify, just 1 run allowed in 5 innings.
A 3-2 instead of check on Ichiro.
His other non-quality start, he went 5 innings with no earned runs and no runs allowed, but didn't qualify by going 6.
See Brendan Ryan, that camera angle out down the left field line shows you how close he is able to keep Ichiro at second, then backs away. Here's a ground ball. Freese backs up and makes the play. He never even looked Ichiro back, but still he wasn't going anywhere. Stays put at second base, and Figgins unable to advance the runner.
Played back on that ball, and as you said, normally you look the runner back, and Ichiro is a very smart base runner, very good base runner. But Ichiro also has respect for Albert and how in tune he is in his throwing arm for a return throw to third.
And here's a switch hitting Milton Bradley. Homered from the left side last night off of Jeff Suppan. And for Soup, basically his only mistake. He went 4 innings. He struck out 4, and those 4 were in a row and gave up just 1 run. So Soup last night left this up and over the middle of the plate, and Bradley left it in the seats.
He's hit home runs in 3 of the last 5 games. That's still a very low batting average, 228. And those 6 home runs tie Sweeney, who's on the disabled list with back problems, for the team leadership.
0-1 pitch. And that's taken for a strike, 0-2.
Kendo trying to move Brendan Ryan, wants him to play more into the hole, as a lot of times when you see a breaking ball left-hander, you'll hit a lot of balls to the left side of the infield. Can't get Brendan's attention. Not unusual.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. And that's tapped foul. Outfield is straight away. And Okendo, as you mentioned, was whistling to try to get Brendan Ryan's attention.
And Brendan's trying to figure out who's the real Brendan Ryan between he and the young man that you showed with the photo contest.
It's a pretty good photo, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was.
Tied him up, and Bradley down on strikes. First strikeout for Jaime Garcia. Our Fox Tracks presented by Jeep.
It's a good breaking ball, and gets him to try and stop his swing. Does it look like it never was a strike?
And here's Jose Lopez, their cleanup hitter, who's having a down year. Couple of hits in this series with an RBI. And on the season, hitting .232, 4 home runs, and he's driven in 27. Leadoff double, and Ichiro still is standing at second base. Off-speed pitch, misses outside.
Garcia, who for the most part missed all last season with recovering from Tommy John surgery, and Lopez with a down season. He had 25 home runs, almost 100 RBIs a year ago.
Seattle is 24 and 41. And that's pulled foul.
Dan, they've really struggled on the road.
Yeah, on the road they are 9 and 24. 9 and 24 away from home.
They've lost 10 of the 12, 13 in the last 18 games.
Here's a grounder hit to short. Brendan Ryan up with it. Makes the play. Ichiro left stranded at second base following a leadoff double. Half inning in the books, no score. And a look at Tony La Russa's lineup. Felipe Lopez, followed by Matt Holliday, and then Albert Pujols. Ryan Ludwig with 11 home runs. Then David Freese, Colby Rasmus up to 13 home runs. Yadier Molina, Jaime Garcia, and Brendan Ryan, the Southwest Airlines starting lineup. Jason Vargas is 4-2 on the year. Not bad numbers, 76 and 2/3 innings, 22 walks, 49 Ks, and opponents hitting just .228 off the lefty.
He's really done a nice job. He has not won on the road this year, despite a ERA under 4.
Lopez out to right, Ichiro waiting for it. Gold glove after gold glove in right field. Look at the Mariners defense. Milt Bradley, Michael Saunders, and Ichiro in right. Lopez, Wilson, Biggins, and Langerhans. And the battery tonight, Vargas and Alfonso. So quick out, and here's Matt Holliday. Holliday at .289, 6 home runs, and he's driven in 25 on the year.
He's had 8 at-bats. Or excuse me, 5 at-bats against this pitcher and 4 hits, an .800 average. A little different, you know, as we're seeing the 3rd straight left-hander facing the Cardinals.
The other two really pitched away, didn't they?
Yep, they pitched away. This one really throws across his body. He'll start at the first base side of the rubber, and he will really step across his body and then kind of crossfire back. So a little tougher on the left-handed batters, but a little bit deceptive to the right-handers even.
There's a fly ball, and Ichiro will handle it. 2 outs.
He really tried to split up these 3 left-handers, and Cardinals really, they're all very similar in velocity, very similar in their stuff.
Really, if you look at the Cardinals the last couple of years and what they've done against lefties, probably the right move, but you wish it was Cliff Lee. And the righty that they can throw at you is one of the best in baseball, in Hernandez.
The Cardinals catching Seattle the right time, missing their 2 big weapons coming out of the rotation.
Pujols with a long home run last night. Quickly, that's strike 2. I'm sure there's some Philly fans wanting to see Cliff Lee back in Philly, as they're talking about Pedro Martinez signing him, and the Phillies really struggling right now. Pujols is carved up, he strikes out, and we played an inning. There's no score. A player's resume: 9-time All-Star, 9-time Gold Glover, 3-time MVP, World Series champion. Text resume A, B, C, or D to 432-432.
Well, Ichiro's a 9-time All-Star and a 9-time Gold Glove winner, and he's playing in his 10th season. Pujols has won 3 MVPs in his first 9 seasons, and he also has a world championship.
Now, I would think that individually it's the MVP, but I'm sure both players would tell you a world championship.
That's what you ultimately play for, but you can get 3 MVPs. Everybody knows you're a champion.
And Pujols would be in that conversation again this year. Right now, the way that things stand, no doubt about it. Here's Josh Wilson.
Albert tied for second in home runs. His RBIs are right up there with the leaders.
Got to figure the Cardinals will be in this race till the very end. You'd like to think that they would win this division. And if they get into postseason play, knock on wood, as long as he stays healthy, Albert Pujols will be a big part of it.
Tony, Albert's tied for second in the league in home runs and RBIs.
That's taken in, and it's 2-2. First inning, a double by Ichiro to start the game, and then left stranded at second base. Here's a 2-2 pitch to Wilson. Out to left, Holiday, late break, and makes a catch sliding.
It looked like he started to go back on that ball, and then he adjusted his sights, had to come in aggressively, but makes a play.
Great way to see a game right here at Busch Stadium is with a group of your friends or family. Groups of 25 or more get great incentives, including a discount off the gate. And if you'd like to find out more, all you have to do is just go to Cardinals.com or give us a call at 314-345-9500. Tonight was one of the autograph nights. Hopefully folks enjoyed that here at the ballpark. Friday night, a Busch Bash, and before the game, Rick Horton will be signing autographs at the Ford Plaza. And it's Merrimack Caverns night at Busch Stadium, and good seats still available for Friday night. Saturday, it's the Skip Schumacher Action Ball, and then Sunday, the bat and ball set for the kids. It's also a family Sunday with a purchase of a terrace or pavilion reserved seat. You get a hot dog and Coke. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. This is Ryan Longerhands. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And the Cardinals talking about, with the off days and with the injuries to 2 of their starters, of going with a 4-man rotation. One of the negatives to that is you can't have some of those day offs where you get an extra day's rest for your pitchers. Also, Jaime, who's coming off the Tommy John surgery, he'll be around 80 innings pitched after tonight. You were going into the season, you were very guarded about how many innings that he would ideally you'd like him to pitch.
Good point.
But you also hope that down the road you get either Brad Penny or Kyle Loesch back so that you can you're trying to go to the 4-man rotation until you get one of those starters back.
Jim Hayes has some news on Brad Penny, but he'll talk a little bit more about that in the third. But Penny apparently threw today and had no ill effects, no pain for the first time since he's been injured. Langerhans walk, and it's a 1-out walk here in the second. Didn't miss by much. Let's take a look.
It's ever so slightly outside.
Well, there's a look at the new Blues head coach, Davis Payne.
He had his wife and 2 daughters with him.
He said he had family and friends from the Seattle area that might be in the ballpark tonight as well. But he has had that interim tag lifted, and he is the Blues head coach heading into next season. Here's a double play ball. Out at second. Out at first for 6-3. Davis Payne enjoying Cardinals baseball tonight. Now, last night, Ryan Ludwig was in the cleanup spot for the 163rd game. And he drives this into deep center. It's at the track and stays in the ballpark. But basically, now a full season under his belt, batting cleanup in his career. 40 home runs, 146 RBIs.
And they think he has problems?
Wow. 40 home runs, 146, and 73 extra base hits. The cleanup spot.
I think that's providing protection behind Albert Pujols.
I think so. It's a good track record, too, now. Full season under your belt.
Sure.
Here's David Freese. This time last year, the Cardinals were searching for protection around Pujols, and right now you take into account Freese and Rasmus, what they've been doing here lately, and certainly Ryan Ludwig, and there is protection behind them. On the inside corner.
In my mind is, it all revolves around Holiday and Ludwig providing a lot of protection, and then Freezing and Colby can just kind of relax and just contribute. Ryan Ludwig, since he's been moved to the cleanup spot, the Cardinals are 2-0, and let's face it, Holiday's looked much better as he's getting on base ahead of Albert. And Ludwig, remember the first game of this series, he hit the 3-run home run in the first inning. I had a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Going into the season, Jason Hayward, the 20-year-old phenom of Atlanta Braves, was anointed Rookie of the Year. Then Strasburg comes up after one start. He's Rookie of the Year.
And here's David Freese pounding out hit after hit.
How come we're not talking about David Freese and also Jaime Garcia?
Great point.
I mean, they've been here all year and contributing all year.
Keys to the game, Seattle. They have not pitched well all time here in St. Louis. Not much of a history here, but 0-5, 8 home runs allowed. Previous series was in 2004 at the Old Busch Stadium, and an ERA of 7.65. Well, we've been talking about it, but those two guys don't have the, I guess, national appeal or fanfare yet.
Well, I think we need our Cardinal fans to start making a case or start lobbying for it, and also the Cardinals PR department.
Want to know the count on Colby Rasmus? 3 for 7 with a pair of home runs in this series and 4 RBIs. Rips it foul.
Colby already 6 home runs this month, only 11 games. That ties his career high for a month.
No, it was this time last month. He looked lost at the plate, and now he looks as locked in as we've seen him.
If not more so. Good April, struggled in May, hot in June.
1 ball, 1 strike on Colby. Takes a ball a little bit low, 2-1.
He just looks more aggressive in the batter's box and just not guessing. And he's starting to do a lot of his damage, even with the home runs against left-handed pitching, which he said last year was the first year, his rookie year, that he ever struggled against lefties.
You mentioned how Vargas throws across his body. You see his landing area, and it's almost as if he's pointed at a left-handed batter, and then it comes across his body. And that's a look at Box Tracks presented by Jeep.
Well, you can see from that view, he almost looks like he's stepping behind a left-hander, and so he's very tough against left-handed hitters. And if he can throw a breaking ball like the last one, you'll get Colby to chase more often than not. But if he hangs one or leaves one on the middle part of the plate, Colby has a chance to make a slow trot.
2-2 the count. Outfield is straight away and deep. Colby lifts it in the air out to right center. 2 outs. Saunders makes the catch. Freese will stay put at first. We have a great vantage point from our booth here at Busch Stadium, and you can see the plant area, the front leg of Vargas. And it's almost as if he's pointed right at the lefty.
And you can see that darker spot on the mound right there where he plants. And, you know, you're throwing across your body. Ideally, if you would draw a line straight in front of you, and then you try to stay, you know, for a left-hander, you try to step on the third base side of that line to avoid throwing across your body.
Molina into center, and that's caught by Saunders, and we play 2. Get an update on Brad Penny when we come back with Jim Hayes. Special guest, the Dixie Chicks, extended this week only. You can get 50% off all remaining Eagles concert tickets. And those tickets are available at cardinals.com/Eagles. Enter coupon code EAGLES to receive 50% off all remaining tickets. And again, that's very easy to do. You can do it right now at stocardinals.com, cardinals.com. Garcia back to work, and there is no score here in the 3rd inning. Saunders, the 8th place hitter, then Vargas and Ichiro. Jim Hayes has joined us, and Saunders is hitting .229 on the year. Jim, the big news here at the ballpark concerns Brad Penny.
Brad Penny told me today, for the first time since going on the DL, he is pain-free.
1 pitch and 1 out. And he threw on the side today?
He did not have a side session today. It's a result of what happened yesterday. He had an MRI, which targeted a better area for an injection to help with the lat injury. Had that done, woke up this morning, and for the first time, he felt good. Now, on the road, John Mozeliak had told us that 3 weeks, Brad Penny would be able to pitch again. Penny said today, for the first time, he's optimistic about returning for the short term as opposed to the long term, though he doesn't set a timetable right now.
This is Vargas, who is familiar with hitting just a bit when he was with Florida. And he was also with the Mets. No balls and 2 strikes. That's good news, and that, you know, something when you couple the fact that Cal Loesch has said that eventually he could return, you know, before this season is through, you could have your starting 5 back intact. Second strikeout for Garcia, traveling this season. Take the Cardinals with you. Subscribe to MLB.tv today. You can see every Cardinals game live or on demand on your computer. Visit Cardinals.com for details. Local in-market blackouts will apply. MLB.tv. Baseball is everywhere. But Loesch was talking about throwing after the All-Star break and then hopefully making a return at some point to the rotation.
Well, Kyle feels like he's getting closer to doing stuff in spite of that giant scar that he's so proud of, apparently, that reaches from his wrist all the way down to his elbow. He's been cleared to do some throwing off what they call a trampoline, which is a light throwing session, and then maybe starting to play catch on Monday. But Kyle, very optimistic, but he says, of course, once you start trying to throw and pitch for real, it's a different story.
Easy inning for Garcia, 1-2-3. No score, bottom of the third. And Jaime Garcia leads it off. Garcia, the lowest ERA through the first 12 starts of a rookie season since 2000.
And you see who Cal Eldred is second.
There's a fly ball down the left field line. Yeah, Cal, if you go back to 1992, he was with Milwaukee. He was 10-1 with a 1.36 ERA first 12 starts of his rookie year.
Steve Rogers has the best ERA back in 1973 with the Expos, 1.16, the same ERA that Jaime has at home. And of course, with a couple scoreless innings, 3, he's lowered that.
Here's an 0-2 pitch. Garcia just got a piece. If you're wondering who else was on that list since 2000, these are just the starters. Francisco Liriano, Zach Duke, Josh Johnson, Jared Weaver, just to name a few. Some pretty good names on that list.
Remember, he hasn't hurt himself with the bat, batting over 200.
He's in the 8th spot tonight and slaps it foul. Gentleman trying to make the catch and paid a price for it right in the midsection.
That happens.
It does.
Al, you got to get in front of the ball.
It hit him in a bad spot. Hit him in the hands.
Yeah.
And then right through that to the chest. Being consoled by many of his friends. Thinking about the Budweiser thirst inning and all of our friends, the men and women on the armed forces. I'm sure they're thinking about the thirst inning too when they get back home.
Here's a ground ball, and that'll be handled easily. One away. Just a reminder to go to foxsportsmidwest.com, and you can see some memorable moments replayed on Fox Sports Midwest. Ozzie Smith's home run in the 1985 NLCS. Wainwright, strikeout of Carlos Beltran in the 06 NLCS. Adam will tell you all he was thinking about, he said in that night, don't let it get to Beltran. Whatever you do, he said to himself, don't let it get to Beltran. It got to Beltran, and then a memorable strikeout for Adam. One of the best curveballs he's ever thrown. Froze him.
Guy who usually had his way with the Cardinals, too.
Yes. Brendan Ryan takes a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pujols struck out on 3 pitches. And he's wasting no time getting a look at Vargas and studying.
Chased a pitch up out of the strike zone. Which one, a strikeout isn't that common for Albert, and see him expand his zone and chase one upstairs is even more rare.
Well, Jim, we saw last night 4 innings from Suppan. That was part of the story. What got overlooked a little bit, the bullpen and what they were able to do with their innings of work after Jeff Suppan.
Well, we had Ryan Franklin on the pregame show talking about the bullpen and his outing specifically. Bullpen worked 5 innings, just 1 run allowed, that by Franklin. We talked to Franklin about really not being used in the normal way recently. Just one of those things where he's not getting the work that he normally does because there are no safe situations.
Friday night, Cardinals live, and we'll check in with another member of the 06 World Championship team. We'll catch up with fan favorite Scott Spezio. Might be a little surprised where we found him. Find out on Friday night, Toyota Cardinals Live at 6:30.
How about the job Soup did last night, though?
Great job, 4 innings, and he gave up the home run. Here's Lopez with 2 outs. Any idea where they found Spezio?
I have an idea. I'm not telling you. Wait for the pregame.
All right. See you after this game. It's Jim Hayes, and it's No Score. Garcia, top of the 4th, and there's no score. 1 hit aside. Cardinals looking for a sweep tonight. And here's Figgins. Garcia, Al, looked awfully sharp last inning. His best of the night. He got 8 and 9, and then easy ground out off the bat of Ichiro.
What's been very impressive about Jaime is there are times when he hasn't had very good stuff. And yet, we always talk about the mark of a very good pitcher is can they win when they have they're less than their best? And the answer with him is definitely yes.
1-1 pitch. Freeze was playing in. Stays with it. One away. Always fun to see some of this old video and the highlights. We flash back. Matt Morris as a rookie defeated Cleveland 8 1/3, 107 pitches. Look at Manny Ramirez there. Goodness.
Well, the Cardinals have the second best record in the National League in interleague play. And surprising to most is that Florida Marlins have the best National League record in interleague play.
For the Cardinals, there are only 3 pitchers in their history who have won the first interleague game they ever pitched in as a rookie. Matt Morris, of course, who you just saw there. Bud Smith did it against the White Sox in 2001. And Mitchell Boggs at Boston. You might remember that in 2008. Base hit by Milton Bradley in time now for Southwest Airlines interleague fact. Southwest Airlines has nonstops to Seattle and your bags fly free. Visit southwest.com. Highest team average interleague since 06. Cardinals at 287. And the Rockies, Marlins, and Cubs.
At any time.
Jaime needs another double play. Cardinals turned one off the bat of Alfonso back in the second inning, 4-6-3.
One of the reasons why he's been so good is his ability to change speeds, but for the most part he keeps the ball down, he keeps it in the ballpark. He's only allowed 2 home runs all season. Both of those were to right-handed batters, but he'll get his fair share of ground balls, and that's what he's looking for right here.
0-1 pitch. Quickly, 0-2. Wonder where Bud Smith is.
I think he's still playing.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Well, because he's left-handed and he has a heartbeat.
Exactly. You read my mind. Matt Morris is through. He's retired. It was a strange way that his career finished. San Francisco traded him to Pittsburgh, a place that really, he didn't want to be. He knew it was going to be not a very good team, and trying to deal with young players when he said he himself, look, I'm not much of a leader. And yet he winds up with the Pittsburgh Pirates.
And that was what they acquired him for, was to be a leader for those young pitchers and just a young team. Now he could do that by example, but not really the verbal type of leader.
0-2 is pulled foul. The guys in the truck tell us the last they can find on Bud Smith was 2007 independent baseball, pitching for the Long Beach Armada. Never forget being in San Diego.
From being a no-hitter.
Yes, San Diego that night. And Tony La Russa said he was beating himself up as Bud was over, I think, 130 pitches. He was at 133 when it wound up. He said, boy, you worry so much about a young guy hurting his arm, but he may never, ever be in this spot again. You can never take him out. The minute that he gave up a hit, he was going to be taken out of the game, and he never did.
And that's a tough place to be because, Tony and Dave Duncan would never purposely leave a guy in to hurt himself, but special occasion, you want him to be a part of the history, but you always like to worry in the back of your mind, and you can't say just because he threw 130 pitches that's why he eventually had arm troubles very quickly after that. I told you when I was 19, my first year playing pro ball, I threw 163 pitches one game and 172 the next inning. And yes, Dan, I got out of the first inning.
Wasn't thinking that, Al. 0-2. This could be a tough play here, and it's a base hit.
Pujols is kicking himself because he ranges further to his right than any first baseman I've ever seen. And why he stopped on that one, and right now he's like beating himself up. So now he starts to go after it, but you saw that Felipe Lopez was almost at second base, so he never could recover. And he was broke immediately, but that's one that Albert frequently goes after. And this time he lets it go through, and it just perfectly placed.
I can't remember the last time he stopped to go get a ball. One out, runners at first and third. Wilson with 13 RBIs. He flied out to left his first time up. Decent speed at third, and Milton Bradley. No score here in the fourth. That pitch is taken up and in.
Another aspect about Jaime is he just doesn't look, little things bother him. He will accept whatever happens behind him, and he just goes about his business trying to now get that ground ball again in turn two and get out of the inning before they can score.
Outfield is straight away in a 1-0 pitch. 2 balls, no strikes. Cincinnati has gotten on the board against the Dodgers. It's now 5-1 in favor of LA, and that's in the bottom of the 6th. Cardinals at the start of play tonight, tied with the Reds at 36 and 29. Here's a 2-0. It's a good example there against a right-hander. The movement that, and it's late movement that he has away from the right-handed hitter.
You know, his fastball does have movement on it. You know, low 90s, but it always seems much faster when you're throwing it from a left-hander. But with very good movement, he's got one that kind of. Remember, he's also got the cutter, he's got the slider, and a changeup.
2-1 is the count with 1 out, runners at first and third. This ball game started with a double by Ichiro. He was left stranded at second in the first. Garcia trying to pitch out of a jam here in the fourth. Ooh, and he hits Wilson, and the bases will be loaded. Well, Friday night, it's June 18th. You can bring the family to Busch Stadium. It's Merrimack Caverns night here at the ballpark, and all kids 11 and under receive a coupon good for 1 admission to Merrimack Caverns, cave tour, and boat ride. Maybe hot outside, but always a cool 60 degrees inside the cave. It's a Busch Bash this Friday. Ricky Horton signing autographs out in the Ford Plaza, and also Merrimack Caverns night here at Busch Stadium.
One home run. That was last night as a pinch hitter. It was his 4th career pinch hit. First with Seattle.
Good pitch. Take a look at the runners. Bradley is at third. Lopez at second. Those two singled. Wilson hit by a pitch, and Langerhans at the plate with the bases loaded. Arguably the biggest spot in the game last night. First inning for Suppan with the bases loaded, and got out of the jam. Here's a ground ball. Can they turn 2? Out at second. And no play for Brendan Ryan, sliding hard and cleanly into second base. Second base was Wilson, and a run scores.
Got upon him pretty good. It's not the throw that he was anticipating from Lopez as he tried to time it. So he's trying to come in here, and then he throws it to the inside. So one, it was a little slow developing. He makes a throw that he's looking for something chest high that he can get his momentum behind, and pretty good athleticism there as he avoids the takeout slide and still holds his balance.
Here's Alfonso with 2 outs. 1-0 Seattle. Alfonso grounded into a 4-6-3 double play in the second inning. So once again, the Mariners take a lead in this series. They've done so in the first 2 games, and now here in game 3. And the Cardinals, the previous 2 nights, obviously came back and won the game. Lead with that swing and an 84-mile-an-hour pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Good tailing action on that pitch. That's strike 2. Redbirds will have Holiday, Pujols, Ludwig coming up in the bottom of the 4th. There's that pitch again that we've talked about against the right-handers that can be very tough.
Just takes a little off, throwing a change up there, but he's got a little, almost like, looks as if he almost turns it over a little bit.
Exactly.
Time the way you hold the ball, and if you release it, you'll get it to fade away from the right-handed batter.
1-2 pitch is just foul.
Good reason why you take your lead in foul territory. As Lopez almost gets nailed. It just hurts if you're hit in foul territory, but no penalty.
So easy for us to say that up here. We don't feel it.
I don't feel a thing.
I feel pretty good.
I feel old.
1-2 pitch.
Who feels pretty good is Matthew Middleton. He just returned from Afghanistan, and his mom and dad would like to say hi, and Matthew probably wishes they would have let him have the tickets tonight.
No kidding.
Hey, thank you for your service, Matthew, but I guess you have to watch it on TV as mom and dad come in person.
There's a strikeout of Alfonso, 3rd of the night for Garcia. Due up for the Cardinals, big bats, Holiday, Pujols, Ludwig, 1-0.
Last batter right here, and you see he starts on with an off-speed pitch, and then he takes a little off, but look how the ball is away. Look at that terrific movement down away. That ball should have been hit hard. It was pulled. Get a ball up and away, that's not okay. Kind of get to change the eye angle. Off-speed pitch again, gets him swinging over the top, but that was a good location. Down and away, moving away. Seattle did get on the board. They've out-hit the Cardinals 3-1. But like in game 1 and 2, this offense starts gelling a little bit as they see second time through the order.
Here's Matt Holiday. Vargas was picked by Minnesota back in 2001. Pick number 1,273. Did not sign. He went to LSU, then eventually transferred to a junior college.
And then what, Long Beach State?
Yep, then he went to Long Beach State. Holiday is retired, and let's flash back with Albert Pujols with one out and nobody off. Pujols against Ryan Franklin, July 3rd of 2004. Randy Wynn was at the wall. Couldn't get it.
Well, it's like Ryan Franklin said, that just hit the nail on the backside of the wall. No tape measure shot there. Randy Wynn, I was talking to Randy about one of the distinctions he has that he doesn't like to talk about and hope it comes to an end this year. He has played in the most games of any active player in the big leagues without a postseason appearance.
Right.
And he's hoping that will come to an end this year wearing the Cardinal uniform. Over 1,600 games.
Pujols launches one down the left field line. And foul. Randy Wynn with the Yankees earlier. Figure you got a chance when you're on the Yankees, and now you come to St. Louis, you figure you got a chance here.
And we were talking about some of the great players that, even Hall of Famers, that never got a chance to play in postseason. A lot tougher before without the divisional play.
Pujols has chased a couple of pitches out of the zone tonight. He struck out on a pitch up first time and chased that pitch out of the zone. It's 1-2.
Just indication not really picking up the ball or spin.
Ken Griffey Jr. comes to mind, at which he made it to postseason. This one may stay fair. High in the air to left center. At the wall, and that ball is, they're going to say it's a double. They're ruling that it's going to be no home run, and I'm sure they'll take a look at this.
Well, did the gate open up on them?
Sure did.
Well, that's their, that is their, bullpen, so it's their responsibility to close it. As they didn't close it properly, and the gate opened up, and Tony wants to question this one. Now, you can make a case because he got another foot or two into the bullpen, which might have allowed him to stop that ball. And they're going to, it looks like they may go to the replay and check it.
Well, I'm sure they will, but you make the valid point. If the gate opened up ever so slightly and he was able to put it back in play, that should be ruled a home run.
And I'm not sure it was. It looked like it might have been in. It was very close to that corner, maybe into the corner in the first row, but they're going to check and see, and you have to plot them for that. Stops all questioning. Bradley still trying to plead that hit in the favor of Seattle.
So here we go.
Oh, it's in his glove. Well, I think it'll be a double.
I do too.
Looking at that replay, it was clearly in the glove. Clearly, if anything, with the door opening up, he didn't have the balance to where he could hold on to it as it gave, on his backside, and caused it to flip out.
If anything, the glove was there before the gate gave way.
Yes, and it clearly was not a home run.
I was about to say that one of the players that did make it a postseason play but never won a ring was Ken Griffey Jr. after all the great years he put together. Seattle and Cincinnati. You mentioned some of the Cubs players that never had a chance.
Ernie Banks. We were talking about Wynn, and the fact with Joe Torre, great player, did MVP here in St. Louis, but never reached postseason. Watch him go up, and it's in his glove, and then it comes back into the playing surface. So the door opening up really did not factor in it at all, in my mind.
If anything, it's a great play by Bradley to save a home run. Timed it right, brought it back in. What complicates matters, though, is that gate opening for the umpires. They want to make sure that indeed it hit the glove and then the gate opened. But then the question becomes, Al, as you mentioned, the gate opening, does that become a factor in their ruling on this because it is the Mariners' gate?
Their responsibility, wouldn't it, to make sure that they close it properly where it is secured. I don't think it ever was going to be a home run, period.
Even if he didn't touch it?
Yeah.
Really?
I think when it went high off the wall, I mean, it had to have bounced on top of it and gone forward. It was its only chance.
So they continue to take a look at the review here.
But with the gate opening, it takes it to a different level, doesn't it?
Sure does. Who was it when we were down in Florida and used it? Was it Frank Pulley?
Frank Pulley, the first time replay was ever used and it was not authorized, was a game that we did in Florida on a long, deep fly ball that, you know, went up against the white portion of their scoreboard. And he did get the play right with the assist of replay. And he was criticized for it, but I thought and now you see how umpires are more interested in getting the play correct. Frank Pulley did so, but it was something that wasn't authorized. And they're going to keep it a double. I think it's a correct call.
So it'll be a one-out double for Pujols. Just a couple of inches away from a home run, and Bradley may have brought this back in.
See, his hand is clearly in front of the wall, and Tony's not satisfied with the decision. Tony, whether he's satisfied or not, is going back to the dugout.
So it'll be Ludwig with one out and a runner at second base. Ludwig fly to deep center his first time up.
And are you satisfied they got it correct?
I am.
I am also.
I think it's the right call. Doesn't mean I have to like it, but yes, I am satisfied with it. Didn't take all that long to figure out, and the bottom line is you want to get the play right.
Correct.
What you don't want to see with replays is to extend for 10, 15, 20 minutes and really disrupt the flow of the game. 0-1 pitch.
And even look at Albert, great secondary lead.
Oh, that's big. Now a fly ball ties this game up.
Good base runner. That's another thing that Ichiro and Albert have in common. Just how good a base runner's instinctive. Look at the secondary lead there. He sees the separation. Not much, but just enough. And gets over to third. What a difference that makes with one out. Just being at third, how many more ways can you score?
Doesn't chase. And the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Runners scored 5 out of 8 times in this spot.
6 out of 9 would look a lot better.
Pulled the string on him, and it's 2-2. 79-mile-an-hour changeup.
Arm action, much the same. Way outside, but pulling the string. Classic terminology for a changeup.
Pujols a runner at third, and here comes a 2-2. Ludwig with a high fly ball.
Deep enough.
Albert will tag up. Bradley with the catch. Throw to the plate. Not in time. It's 1-1. Ludwig with RBI number 40. And as you mentioned, Al, Pujols with a secondary lead. That changes the complexion of this inning as he advances to third with one out. The fly ball brings him in.
But odd that the center fielder gives way to the left fielder, where it was Saunders was getting positioned to have all of his momentum coming behind the throw. But the veteran, Bradley, his ego takes over.
That is odd. You wonder if that's something that they have felt that they would rather have Bradley take that throw, Al. I mean, Saunders normally not the everyday center fielder, and it's Gutierrez, but for whatever reason, Bradley took the throw.
He doesn't have that good a throwing arm.
No.
And, it's an off-balance throw. You're throwing across your body. You're not going to get that much on it. Anytime the ball's that deep, you're not going to throw somebody out. So your center fielder, even if he has a weaker arm, is going to have more momentum behind it.
That's a base hit for Freese. He's 2 for 2. Two-out base hit for the Cardinal third baseman. Throughout our communities, unique individuals give their time and resources to help others. It's People Magazine's All-Stars Among Us. And they'll recognize 3 finalists for the Cardinals through June 20th. You can vote for one of them by going to www.peopleallstars.com. And the winner from the Cardinals will be honored at the All-Star Game in Anaheim on July 13th, which is seen only on Fox. Two-out base hit, and here's Colby Rasmus. Fly to center first time up. Average right at 300. He's at 296.
Talking about Kobe's really starting to hit these left-handers much better, particularly better than last season. One of the drawbacks is when you start hitting a few home runs, particularly off of left-handers, you get more pull conscious. And that breaking ball away, you see they're going to try and keep the ball away from him. They produce a lot of, rolling over on a pitch. So it's still important to hit a few to the opposite field.
Pitch last night was down and in, and Rasmus drove it high and deep enough for the home run.
You start hitting home runs, and then you're always looking for that mistake pitch.
Here's a 1-0 pitch to Colby. High fly ball into right. Ichiro under it to make the catch. Well, Pujols, a little bit of everything here in the 4th inning. Double that was reviewed, advanced to third, and then comes around to score. It's 1-1 after 4. 64. Lou Brock makes his Cardinals debut, and Kenny Boyer hits for the cycle against the Astros. 1964, presented by Schnucks.
Boy, Lou got hot after that trade and really carried the Cardinals onto the World Series and to a World Series victory. One of 10 World Championships for the Redbirds.
I'm sure a lot of our fans would like to hear your thoughts on Kenny Boyer as well.
I had Kenny as a manager in AA his first year after he retired, and a man's man. A great gentleman, outstanding ball player, called the captain as he held that title with the Cardinals. And boy, he just was a great baseball man. It was a pleasure to play for him, and I wish he would have lasted to an older age. You know, cancers got him.
There's a base hit for Michael Saunders, the center fielder, and we're underway here in the 5th. We turn now to our AT trivia. Question tonight: how many consecutive seasons have the Mariners had a Gold Glove winner? We know 9 with Ichiro.
Yeah.
23. That's a good question. 23 for Seattle.
Griffey was involved in there. Vizquel, Ichiro, all 9 big league seasons. He's been a Gold Glove winner. Langston was a Gold Glove winner as a pitcher.
Harold Reynolds was part of that. Hit and run was on, and underhanding Lopez to first. Give me another one, Al. How about John Olerud?
True. First baseman.
This Sunday, fans ages 15 and under receive a plastic bat and ball. Compliments of Powerade and Shop and Save. Perfect for the pickup game outside. For more information, visit Cardinals.com. By the way, it's a family Sunday this weekend, so purchase of certain seats, you get a free hot dog and Coke. Also, it's the ice cream sundaes for the kids, and then the kids giveaway. So, great time to come down to the ballpark this Sunday.
Don't want to interrupt this Ichiro at bat, but every time you talk about John Olerud, you think about the story with Ricky Henderson.
I know where you're going with this, but go ahead.
Olerud had a brain aneurysm, so he always wore a hard hat in the field.
Always wore a helmet in the field.
Always had a helmet on, and Ricky Henderson said, you know, hey, why do you always wear a helmet in the field? And he goes, well, you know, Ricky, I had this aneurysm, brain aneurysm, and I got to protect my skull. And Ricky said, man, that's strange. I played with a guy in New York. It had the same thing happen to him. And he goes, yeah, that was me, Ricky.
Ricky Henderson. Some kind of talent, though.
Oh, no doubt about it.
0-2 here on Ichiro.
Arguably the best leadoff hitter in history. Ichiro hit his 31st leadoff home run, first game of the series. And the all-time leader is Ricky Henderson, over 80. I think 84.
Ichiro a double in the first. He's grounded out to second. Incredible numbers when you talk about Ichiro playing in career game number 1,492.
Ricky had 81. Soriano has 54. Biggio at 53. Brady Anderson 44. Bobby Bonds 35. Ichiro at 10th place with 31.
Now this goes back to 1952, but the amount of games that Ichiro's played in, he already has over 21 hits, 2,100 hits. Wade Boggs next, 1,973. That's the difference. I mean, think about that. Ichiro, 2,122 with a base hit tonight. The next closest, this amount of games, this dates back to 1952, is Wade Boggs at 1,973. Pretty incredible. And if you combine his numbers, Japan and here in the States, over 3,000 hits. 2-2.
Ichiro's played in a few more games, but he and Pujols both broke in the same year, 2001. Both of them were rookies of the year in their respective leagues. And Pujols has 1,791. When Albert leads in home runs, second in home runs during that time, but he's hit the most home runs in the first 10 years of his career and leads in RBIs. Triple Crown winner last decade was Albert Pujols, and he only played in 9 seasons.
2-2 the count on Ichiro. Go ahead run at second base. It's the center fielder Saunders. Big gap in the right center. Tell you what, Ichiro has fought off some really good pitches here from Jaime Garcia just to stay alive.
Ryan Franklin is talking about just the pleasure he has to play with Pujols and Ichiro, and said it's just remarkable how his hands stay back even when he's almost running out of the batter's box, but his hands will stay back and he can make contact better than anyone. And he doesn't strike out. Saw earlier in this season that our series how the Cardinals have tried to go up the ladder on Ichiro.
Plaza Tire Service, the Exmo Cam. That's how they've gotten him to strike out, going up the ladder.
If you think about it, he's just, all left-handed hitters, majority are low ball hitters. And he, with his magic wand, maybe even more so.
To strike at the knees. Here's Figgins, 0-1 pitch. Two outs and a runner at second base of a 1-1 game here in the fifth. It's only the 36th time that Ichiro has struck out this year. 270 plate appearances.
It's all said and done this year. Ichiro, for the 10th consecutive year, will have over 200 hits. He's almost 100 already.
He's hitting .341 at the start of play tonight.
10 will equal Pete Rose, 200 hit seasons.
Late on that swing was Figgins.
I think 9 consecutive equals Ty Cobb.
Correct. Robinson Cano, the Yankees, is the league's leading hitter at .368. Justin Morneau at .344. Billy Butler of Kansas City, .341, tied with Ichiro. A 2-2 pitch. Ooh, he just missed. Figgins tonight twice has grounded out to third.
It's hard to take a 2-2 pitch like this, but you see it is outside. Tailing action, and Figgins wouldn't offer.
Here's a 3-2. Up the middle, base hit. They'll test Colby. Here comes a throw to the plate. That won't be in time. He missed the cutoff. Figgins winds up at second. And it's 2-1 Seattle. So a 2-out hit for Figgins and his 18th RBI.
He plays small ball. 3-2 pitch, a little too much of the plate, right back up the middle. Colby high throw, way offline, and it's a single. Takes second on the throw, the RBI. Figgins, just that heady ball player. He knows the run is going to probably come home, but he'll look there and sees the high throw, misses the cutoff man, and gets himself in scoring position.
Here's Milton Bradley, who's had a strike on the inside corner. Bradley tonight struck out swinging, and that was in the first, and then he singled and scored in the fourth. Same pitch, strike two. Interleague play this year. Good numbers for Milton, the former National Leaguer. The 0-2 upstairs, and that scoots away from Yadier Molina. Figgins advances to third with 2 outs. Pace of the game is slowed down just a bit as Jaime is at 81 pitches on the night.
Pass ball there as Molina a little slow in recovering too.
Not sure he knew where the ball was. See, he's shaking his head a little bit. I'm sure he's unhappy with himself.
2-time Gold Glover.
And the 1-2 pitch. Bradley, a swing and a miss. Garcia strikes out 2 in the inning, but the Mariners have a 2-1 lead. Tying him at Ty Cobb for the American League record. The Radio Shack, what do you know? And Al also told you up next on that list, Pete Rose. Where would his numbers be if he started his career in the major leagues?
Instead of extensive and great career in Japan, he would have just started right here, and like I said, already over 3,000 hits, and don't tell me he wasn't going to hit.
Here's Yadier Molina.
So Taguchi was rated as a better fielder than Ichiro. I don't think that was accurate. He's a guy that won 9 straight Gold Gloves.
We went into Seattle and we've talked about that. We saw Ichiro, but also what was kind of lost in that series with the Mariners was the fact that the Cardinals had signed So Taguchi. And at that point in time, it didn't look like that he was going to hit an A ball.
Yeah, and remember, he had an interesting conversation with the difference in cultures.
Hit sharply again off the bat of Molina, but nothing to show for it. He grounds out to third. What's on Tap is presented by Budweiser. A's and Cardinals. Carpenter getting that start on Friday night. We'll come your way at 6:30. By the way, all 3 games this weekend will be televised right here on Fox Sports Midwest. Our Sunday telecast will be from the Champions Club.
If you remember, when So went to his first spring training, he never hit a ball. He was a right-handed batter, never hit a ball to the left of second base. And no one said a word to it. Well, in Japan, if they don't say a word to you, they know you feel that they are very happy with your play. And then when he was sent down, he was very confused, as everyone was like, wow, this guy can't hit at all. Now, he eventually became a fan favorite here in St. Louis, and after the next year, he got a little physically a little stronger and played very well, and as I said, a fan favorite with St. Louis fans. But he thought he was doing everything right that first spring training.
Garcia down on strikes. Vargas picks up his third. Again, Friday night is our Bush Bash in the Ford Plaza. Live music, player appearances. And this Friday features Rick Horton, first 150 in line, guaranteed to get Ricky's autograph. And Rick, I guess he's on radio tonight. Is he on radio tonight?
Yes, he is. John is on assignment. Jim Jackson's always there, and Mike is bouncing.
And that pitch is taken low.
There's Haley, who leader of our charter flights on American Airlines. Does a great job. Always appreciate what she and her staff do for us.
And it's 1-2 on Brendan Ryan. Ryan struck out.
Matt on the left there, now that he's an executive, and Chase is now the new hardest worker in the booth. He's a new man.
And calling for it, making the catch, Biggins. 2-1 Seattle.
And Alicia Tedesco, one of the Cardinal direct sales representatives, direct service, sent a letter that was quite disturbing about an incident that happened yesterday as a gentleman called and introduced himself as Kirk Smalley of Oklahoma.
There's a liner to left and caught by Holiday.
And Kirk and Laura Smalley had a son, Ty, big Cardinal fan, and had been bullied at school. And this went on for months and months. They contacted school. School never saw any of the bullying incidents. And of course, a young man who was 11 years old finally retaliated. And of course, the school officials only saw the retaliation. He was suspended. And to make the story a little short, parents came home after they took him home from school, and he shot and killed himself. And he was wearing his Pujols jersey.
Huge Cardinal fan.
Huge Cardinal fan, and he was only 11. This happened on May 13th. And of course, today is June 16th, which would have been Ty's birthday. So instead of picking out a birthday cake, Kirk and Laura are contacting the Cardinals for permission to use the logo on their son's tombstone. And you know, they're picking that out, and I'm sure they'll be granted that permission, as well as trying to spread the awareness of bullying in schools. And I'll make a pledge to them that I'll try and incorporate that when we talk to with Fredbird to the elementary schools. It's an ongoing problem. It's a terrible problem. It's much more frequent than people realize. So in memory of a huge Cardinal fan on the day of his birth, happy birthday to Ty Field Smalley.
Strikeout of Wilson and 2 away here in the 6th inning of a 2-1 ball game. And for Jaime, that is strikeout number 6.
The dad and the grandparent, I hate to read those stories.
Terrible. Langerhans has walked and also grounded into a fielder's choice. 2 outs in a 2-1 game. Popped up but out of play. To the left of us. Seattle has out-hit the Cardinals 5-3, and they lead it 2-1. And that misses on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that's upstairs. Garcia now at 92 pitches on the night. Cardinals have the top of the lineup coming up in the bottom of the 6th.
He's trailing by 1, but doing the job of a starter, keeping his team right in the game. Appears that he will get through this 6th inning with just 2 runs, hopefully 2 runs, and pick up another quality start. Most important thing is you can have a quality start and also win.
And that's a foul ball. No activity in either bullpen so far. Got him on the outside corner. 2 in a row for Jaime Garcia, and 7 on the night. It's 2-1. Gold Glove winner, 3-time MVP, our World Series champion, and the folks at home go with 3-time MVP. And do we concur?
Yes.
We do.
Yes.
It's settled.
Yes.
3-time MVP. Here's Felipe Lopez. Lopez, a switch hitter in the leadoff spot, is flying out to right. And also grounded out to second against Vargas.
Yeah, Vargas mentioned that good ERA, but in 4 starts on the road, the Mariners haven't won any of his road starts. Matter of fact, he's lost his last 6 road starts and 9 of his last 10.
Very, very economical. Only 20 balls tonight. And that's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. He's only allowed 3 base hits. One of those, the near home run by Pujols, which was reviewed by the umpires. Didn't matter if it went over the wall because Ludwig would eventually drive him in. 1-2 the count.
That was on a sac fly, so Pujols' double, and then a pair of singles by Freeze, accounting for the Cardinals' only 3 hits.
And he chased a pitch up and strikes out. 4 tonight for the lefty Vargas. Here's Holiday, who's 0 for 2. We've seen last night again tonight. A lot of pop-ups off the bat of Holiday. You'd love to see him straighten one out and drive it over the wall. Fly to right, fly to center. We saw a shot of Pujols last night in the dugout and on the bench working with Matt Holliday, and maybe what he sees from that on-deck circle. Here's a little check swing. Tough play.
Help me out, Dan. New third baseman, Tuiasa Sopo.
Tuiasa Sopo, Matt Tuiasa Sopo, the new third baseman.
Thanks, Dan. Say that 10 times.
Once is hard enough. Tuiasa Sopo out.
Tuiasa Sopo. Saw that name and said, I hope he doesn't play.
1 ball, 1 strike. Pujols reaches, slowly hit to first, and he is out. We played 6. Seattle trying to salvage a game behind Vargas. They lead it 2-1. game and 5 against Jaime Garcia. And Jaime has struck out 7 tonight. He'll deal with 7, 8, 9. So bottom of the lineup here. Cardinals have been quiet tonight offensively.
Very impressive inning by Vargas as he went through Holiday and Pujols and got both of them out jam shots.
And he is struck out 7 here tonight, or rather, Jaime struck out 7, and Vargas has set down the last 7 in a row. It's a tight little breaking ball, no balls and 2 strikes. They're in the bottom of the 9th, and Los Angeles leading 6-2. Phillies bottom of the 9th leading the Yankees 6-3. And that has just turned into a final. So 6-3, the Phillies hold on.
Atlanta beats Tampa Bay 6-2.
Cubs in the top of the 7th, leading 6-1. Here's a 2-2 pitch. There's a fly ball into shallow right center. Colby under it, makes the catch. 1 away.
See, it's still under 100 pitches. Dan, that is Tim Garcia.
Al, I know. We've worked with him the last 13 years.
Well, he sat next to us the last 13 years. We have worked. And Tim has just shown up. Still trying to figure out if he gets in free.
Here's a ground ball hit to second. 2 outs. This season, it's easier than ever to find the seats you want or sell tickets to the games you can't make. It's on StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Cardinals. And you'll find great seats, great service on StubHub all season long. Go to StubHub.com and choose your seats today.
Has Tim Garcia's family and friends ever asked us whether he works or not? Or asked him?
Just disappears for a few hours, both on the job and, of course, his family has no idea that he works here. We can't find him half the time. Vargas lifts it into left. Holiday over near the wall and runs out of room.
Holiday ran out of room, but Garcia never runs out of food.
One and 2 the count on Vargas. Vargas tonight has struck out, also grounded out to second. Garcia would love strikeout number 8. And once again, he has pitched very efficiently here tonight. This will be his last inning as he is at 105 at the pitch count. Foul back.
Pretty good rip right there. Jaime missed all of last season until the final month, recovering from Tommy John surgery. Pitched well right down the stretch and even in the playoffs for Memphis.
problem tonight for the Cardinals. It's not been pitching, it's been the offense. Only 3 hits.
We have heard that before. This team has been very inconsistent offensively.
3-2. Story last night, in addition to Suppan, was the bullpen. Couple of home runs.
But look at how much respect you give Jaime Garcia. You know that even though he's a rookie, that he's going to go deep into a ball game.
Look at that swing. Here comes Colby playing in and makes the catch. Garcia through 7. Midway through, and it's 2-1. The Hyundai long drive inning sweepstakes, and the Cardinals hit a home run in the 7th, and Earl qualifies for the Hyundai Sonata drawing in September. To register, visit a St. Louis area Hyundai dealer. Hello, Haley.
Hi. How are you?
I'm great. For everybody at home that doesn't know who you are, tell us who you are and what you do.
I am the American Airlines Charter Coordinator. I am in charge of getting you and the Cardinals from point A to point B.
Have you enjoyed your time tonight?
I have.
Good.
It's remarkable.
Well, we can't say thank you enough for what you do for us.
It's my pleasure. You are the greatest group of guys to work with.
Well, these guys are a lot of fun. These players, I know that, and I know they treat you with great respect, and vice versa.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for everything.
Thanks for being here with us.
Thanks for having me.
So Ludwig is leading it off, and if you do a good job here this half inning, help us get some runs, you are hired and Al is gone. So let's pray for some runs.
Perfect.
This might be one of the nicest guys, Brian Ludwig.
He is. He's remarkable.
He is one of our favorites, no doubt. And one thing the Cardinals have done over the years is definitely gotten quality human beings outside of being very good baseball players. As that's a strike to Ludwig. Now, you are based in Dallas, correct?
Actually, I am based here in St. Louis now.
Oh, when did you move?
Not too long ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's a 3-1 pitch. And a strike on the outside corner. All right, we're going to give you until this at bat to bring us some good luck, okay?
All right.
All right, 3-2. Big pitch here to Ryan Ludwig, who's been swinging a hot bat.
This is it.
And a ground ball to first. You're fired.
Darn it. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for everything, Haley. We do appreciate it. On behalf of all the players, too, I know they really appreciate everything you do for us.
Thank you. I'll see you on Monday.
Okay, sounds good.
Bye.
Here's David Freese with one out. We are in the 7th, and 2-1 Seattle. Now we were hoping that
would come back.
Yeah, Cardinals are going to score some runs. She was hired. Instead, you're back.
Well, I'm back. We get a base hit.
David Freese is 3 for 3. You're back. You're hired, Al.
He's been the offense, hasn't he?
He has. He's got 3 of the 4 hits for the Cardinals tonight. Casino Queen in our Fox tracks. Up and over the middle of the plate, and he drives it into left center.
Marta's been very good tonight, and one of the few times that he's made a mistake.
Nice to see Haley here, huh?
Oh, she's outstanding. Husband and friends are up in the booth. And Haley does a tremendous job. So does American Airlines in our charters. Far cry from the Ozarks in a DC-9 as we charter now a 757.
Cardinals with Denny's Reyes getting loose in the pen. No activity yet for Seattle. That may change. Let's see what happens on this at bat. But the pitch count is low, only 79. And we showed you with that pitch count last inning, he's been so efficient. Not many balls tonight, number of strikes, and he's been ahead in the count for the better part of this game, too. Here's a 1-0 pitch to Colby. Instead, another check on David Freese.
Both these clubs have do not win low-scoring games.
We've seen him already. Yeah, that's Brandon League, the right-hander getting loose. Mentioned that John Wetland is their bullpen coach out there. Former closer.
Wonder, did they have their little meeting today?
They also,
a little huddle.
They do the huddle, and they also have high fives going through a line. Like when you see the Cardinals win a game and they're in the middle of the field with their high fives, the bullpen guys do that every time they score a run too. Off speed, 1-2.
Remember, you're going to see off speed, breaking balls, everything throw away from Colby. As we mentioned, you know, one of the byproducts of a young hitter going on a home run streak is they will pull off a lot of pitches, trying to pull the ball.
Here's a 1-2 pitch. Now he's finally set, and here it comes. Two and two. As you mentioned, Al, they've been trying to go outside to Colby.
Pretty much straight away.
There's a 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Rasmus down on strikes. 0 for 3 tonight. And with 2 outs, it brings in Yadier Molina.
Break the ball out away from him. And then reaching for it.
Well, Yadier stung the ball a couple of times, but nothing to show for it. Lined out to center and also grounded out to third. This would be the perfect time for home run number 3. Nick Stavano has moved to the on-deck circle. If Molina can extend it. First pitch, a strike. We are in the 7th, 2-1 Seattle. 2 outs and a runner at first.
That's the final. LA beats Cincinnati, so Cardinals are currently a half game ahead.
Yadi slowly hit to third. Force play at second. And that sends us to the 8th. Vargas sharp tonight. Just 4 hits allowed. Reyes coming in, and it's 2-1. ATT.com for details. And by Bank of America, Cardinals banking only at Bank of America. Seattle with the lead of 2-1 as we move to the top of the 8th here in St. Louis. And it's our Chevy call to the bullpen. Denny's Reyes is in.
He's allowed runs in 3 of his last 4 outings after just 1 run in his previous 25. April and May, he was very good. In June, he's in a swoon. But, you know, he'll figure this out. This will be a good time.
What's been the difference? What have you seen with Reyes? Because the numbers are glaring. How good he was and then what we've seen lately.
It's just a funk where he's just having a problem with location. Instead of keeping the ball down and away, you know, he's left a lot of pitches up over the middle of the plate, just missing location, becoming that much more hittable. Now he's accentuated getting the ball down and away, but they're both out of the strike zone and you fall behind. But he'll figure it out.
2-1. Suzuki tonight as a double in the first and grounded out to second, struck out swinging in the 5th. The final line on Jaime Garcia, very good, 7 innings. That'll be a foul ball. Thankfully for the Cardinals, that would have been a base hit. But the final line on Garcia, 7 innings, 5 hits, gave up a pair of runs. Both of those were earned. Walked 1, hit a man, and he struck out 7.
Another quality start, but you know, when he's so good, he wants to, you know, get the win. Now he wants to get off the hook. Reyes' breaking ball has been the biggest problem. And you see Suzuki has had his number in the past. A lot of time in the American League for Denny's. Most recently with Seattle, with Minnesota.
This is lifted into center, base hit, placed perfectly off his bat. So Ichiro with the base hit, his 2nd of the night. He's also doubled. That's when he started the game and then was left stranded out at second.
Dan, he can hit.
Oof, can he ever.
Now this is a breaking ball that he ends up getting a hit on, but very few others would. And of course now it's a 1-batter appearance, so you know, he's not going to feel good about himself, but he did. You know, Denny's, I'm not worried about him at all. He'll figure it out. Next time out will be a good one.
So Reyes came in to get Suzuki. Couldn't do it. Mott coming in. It's 2-1. And for Mott this year, he has a record of 2-2. This is his 30th appearance. 2.33 ERA in 27 innings. He's allowed 9 base hits, only 7 runs. All those have been earned. And opponents now, that opponent's batting average, Al, is dipped under 200 at 196.
More strikeouts and innings pitched. He allowed his first inherited run to score Monday night. 4th lowest in the National League, 7.7%. Even that one was a little bit tainted as he came in with runners at 2nd and 3rd and the bases and nobody out. And 1 run did score on a sac fly, but that was it. So it's almost an impossible situation. He's been very good, and we said the strikeouts is a big part of his game. Big lead by Suzuki. Just see, he's stolen more bases in interleague play than any active player.
I'm sure you saw that Kansas City has been awarded the 2012 All-Star Game.
Good for them.
And it was between Kansas City and Boston. For Boston, they had it back in 1999. That remarkable ceremony they had on the field, much of it with Mark McGwire and Ted Williams coming together, you might remember.
That's the first time in a long time adding on to a new stadium. Of course, Kansas City with extensive renovations.
And for Boston, that would have been their 100th anniversary of baseball. It's down and into Figgins. 2 balls, no strikes. It's an important run out there at first base.
Seriously? Just 100 years for Boston?
For the Red Sox, yes.
We're playing in the 119th. We thought they were been around a little longer than that.
Let me rephrase that. For Fenway Park.
Okay.
Fenway Park.
Now I get you.
Yes. Good jump by Ichiro. Throw to second. Oh, he's safe.
I think he got in there, but it's a good thing Mott got low on the mound as he was almost decapitated. And a close play, but because that ball bounced, it took that split second for Brendan Ryan to catch the ball and then to apply the tag as Ichiro goes to the back end of the bag. So very good call.
Great throw again by Molina because Ichiro got a pretty good jump.
Well, that's one of the problems when you have a guy like Mott that, you know, rears back and throws the ball as hard as he does. They're very slow to the plate. And Ichiro, a gifted base stealer, that's his 20th steal of the season. But you're throwing against the best thrower in the National League and running against the best thrower.
A 3-1, they've got it picked off. Throw to third, they've got him. A rare mistake by Ichiro, and a big out for the Cardinals.
Absolutely right, is Ichiro thinking he could go on Mott. As I said, he's slow to the plate, but watch him go reverse and go behind. And Ichiro had broke, stopped, and then they allowed him to get into a rundown and takes off there trying to deke Brendan Ryan, but he gets it over to Freeze and he runs right into the tag.
3-1 and upstairs to Figgins, so he walks him. Now you're right back where you were before with good speed at first base. But this time with only 1 out.
13 steals versus 20.
Yeah. It's the second time that Figgins has been on base. And here's Milton Bradley, who was struck out swinging. And he's 1 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts, and his single in the 4th resulted in the first run scored. 2-1 Seattle.
See the lead that Figgins gets over at first base. A little shorter than the one that Suzuki had. That takes another step out.
Right now, Mott struggling to find a strike zone. You wonder, though, if the speed at first is disrupted you know, what he's doing when he gets out on the mound.
And that's a very good point. And I think Albert just went over to say, hey, work on the batter. But of course, that's where today's managers really try to stop and control the running game. And a pitcher sometimes doesn't get to do what he wants to do, or the timing and sequence, because most pitchers want to get the ball and throw home. See, he did there, but he paid very little attention to runner on base. Now you'll watch, and we'll see now that it's 2-0. We'll see if they don't watch a pitch or two and then send that runner. So last time he paid very little attention to the runner at first. It's got to be vary your looks, vary your moves.
The 2-0. That's taken for a ball. 3-0 on Milton Bradley.
Kind of rushing to the plate, and Molina going to go out and talk to him, trying to get him under control. Because that's one thing about Mott. As hard as he throws, he usually has pretty good control.
Here's a question for you, Al. You mentioned earlier you got a hot bat right now in Milton Bradley at the plate, despite the fact that he struck out twice tonight. You're trying to get your team going. You're 24-41. He could lose one in a hurry. Would you turn him loose on 3-0 with Mott?
There's no doubt that most managers do not want to give that take sign. The only thing they ask is the batter be disciplined enough to just look for a pitch that he can drive. You don't want to swing at a pitch that you hit off the end of the bat or you pop up.
You might get one here where he just grooves one and let it rip as Boggs is getting loose.
And as a pitcher, the one thing you're taught is just let it fly. Don't groove anything. Don't aim the ball.
And he walks him. So that's back-to-back walks, and here comes Dave Duncan. For a viewer at home, Al, how do you pick up when a guy is aiming the ball and when he's just not, letting it fly and letting his natural ability take over?
You ever throw darts?
Sure.
Kind of aim it, and you're just kind of short arm and just kind of like that short release. And when you're free and easy, just wind up and just reach out and try and throw it through the catcher. Don't throw it to the catcher, throw it through the catcher, and that'll make you follow through. And you get that late movement with a quick and loose wrist. But when you just try to, aim the ball, you shorten up, you're just kind of throwing a little dart, and you really change your mechanics drastically.
Baseball's biggest stars go head-to-head for one spectacular night. Summer's biggest event, All-Star Game coverage begins on July 13th from Anaheim this year at 7, only on Fox. So congratulations to the Royals. They'll have it in 2012.
Not this weekend, but next weekend we'll be in Kansas City. Always enjoy our time there.
1 out and 2 on. Now I know that being in St. Louis meant an awful lot for Albert Pujols, but you got to figure in 2012 that would mean an awful lot for him too in Kansas City.
And you would think that he would be welcome in his hometown. And I think there's a pretty good shot that he will make it.
Here's the 0-1. Make it 0-2.
Generous with that call on a low pitch, which usually you don't get after you walk back-to-back batters.
You saw Mott go to his hat. Jim Hayes has a feature on Jason Mott. We've seen him scream into that hat time and again. You can see that feature at foxsportsmidwest.com. It aired on our pregame show a week ago.
See how he's rearing back. And,
yeah, much different.
Yeah, and basically what Dave Duncan goes out and tells him, hey, don't worry about those base runners. If you get the hitter out, they can't go anyplace. Sure, they can steal second and third, but they can't score if you retire the batter.
Cardinals have turned a double play tonight. Turned a near double play, which would have gotten them out of an inning. And instead, it resulted in 1-run scoring. That's the difference in the game. Fought off but fouled into the seats on an 0-2 pitch.
99 miles an hour on the stadium gun. Didn't see what our gun had, but the difference, you know, short arm and throwing 94, but just rear back, and apparently our gun said 99 also.
Here's the 0-2.
Pitch up there is hard to lay off of, but Lopez did. Lopez is not in the game. He has an injury, in our third baseman. Will you tell me his name real quick 10 times?
He's a good third baseman, Al.
Now they're pass ball and gets away, and
I'm going to say that's a strikeout, but the runner can't advance with runners at first and second, so gets away from Molina, and there's 2 down.
ball up there, and you see it just get away from Molina. Remember, even the first night, he had several balls go off his glove, and not quite. He's 0 for his last 12, and not quite what we expect from the Gold Glover. Second pass ball tonight.
Two outs and a swing and a miss by Wilson. Redbirds will have a pinch hitter, Brendan Ryan, and then Felipe Lopez. Second and third with 2 outs. This is blowing it right by him.
Is there any need to change? No. If you throw an off-speed pitch right now, you're doing him a favor. He is way behind on those fastballs. Just don't. You know, I'd continue to just throw the ball up and away. He's overmatched.
Got it. Back-to-back strikeouts.
You can see a little bit happy after a couple walks, put him in a little jam, but back-to-back strikeouts, and Wilson just overmatched. And now Stavanoa will pinch hit for Mott. Stavanoa has already hit 2 pinch hit home runs this year. He leads the ball club in at-bats and pinch hits, and he got one last night.
And that's a fair ball. Stavanoa will dig for 2. He's got to hurry up. The throw by Ichiro not in time.
Stavanoa has been quite the pinch hitter. He's now 10 for 31 with a pair of pinch hit home runs. And you're right, when you hit a ball down the right field, and Wynn will now pinch run for Stavanoa, but you got to really know your running speed and take advantage, because you got a 9-time Gold Glover out there with a tremendous throwing arm. The fact that the first baseman, Langerhans, slowed the... Oh, no, he didn't. I thought he got a piece of it to slow it down.
I did too, and I think it was just the spin of the ball off the end of the bat.
Now, Randy will pinch run, and Stavanoa does his job, and puts a lot of pressure on the defense. Rick Adair, the pitching coach, had to talk to his pitcher and the entire infield as Leake is warming up, the hard-throwing right-hander for Seattle.
You know, Vargas is only at 86. We saw this young man yesterday, Al, and kind of slings the ball up there. He throws hard. I know you visited with Mark McGuire about League, and they look at him as being one of their better power arms. This is our Hardy's prime cut of the game. And we'd like to welcome our friends from Hardee's who are in attendance tonight here in St. Louis this week for corporate meetings. Will they see a sweep?
Let's hope we get another Hardee's prime cut off the bat of Ryan, or will he lay down a bunt and advance him?
And it's a ball.
Defensively, Seattle is hoping for a bunt that they can get the lead runner. Or it gets Wynn. See the first baseman charged. The third baseman is laying back as he wants to position. Shortstop's trying to shorten up the lead by Wynn out there. The first baseman will come in. The pitcher really has responsibility in front of the left part of the mound. Excuse me, the third base side. And the objective for Brendan Ryan, who is now 2-0, is to bunt the ball down third base, but bunt it hard enough to get it by the pitcher. And so the third baseman has to vacate and come in and field it himself, allowing a clear path for Randy Wynn to go to third base. You see the shortstop's trying to shorten up that lead there and also worry about a pickoff.
Good punt. Barehanded. And Ryan is out at first.
The perfect defense for that scenario. You bunt it hard enough down the third baseline. The third baseman has to come in to field it, and the only play is to go to first base. So good job by Brendan Ryan.
Almost beat this out too.
Well, he's got that great speed, and look at how well. The third baseman's got to come in barehanded, throw there, and Randy Wynn, representing the tying run here in the bottom of the 8th, is over at third base with only one out. They pulled the infield in.
Lopez has flied to right, grounded out to second, also struck out. Tying run at third with one out here in the Cardinals half of the 8th. Infield in, first pitch to him. Matt Holliday on deck.
Cardinals have to pick up this run and hopefully continue and get the lead here. Vargas pitched very well, but this is just like many of his starts, particularly on the road. Pitches well enough, but just doesn't get any wins.
That's it out of play.
Again, Vargas has not gotten a win in 4 starts on the road. He's lost 6 straight games on the road and 9 of his last 10.
Here's a 1-1. Inside. Well, Vargas has really pitched well here tonight. He's allowed just 5 base hits. He has struck out 5.
A few years ago, this used to be a squeeze play, was used prominently by Tony La Russa.
Good stop. 3-1.
Really puts the defense in an awkward position right here. You've got to throw a strike. You got your leadoff man, good speed at third base.
And he jammed him. Little floater, and Figgins will make the catch. May have chased the ball, and there's 2 outs.
That's the risk you run when you have the infield in, is having a little blooper that would be such an easy routine fly ball off your back. Set up inside, and he gets him. Jams him up and in, just almost a perfect pitch. Second out, but it wouldn't be fitting for the man that's really had a tough time delivering in the clutch, and he won't get his chance against the left-hander. Holiday, who came in 4 for 5 off of Vargas, will get the right-hander, the flamethrower. So the second visit, Vargas pitched well, and it's up to the mercy of his bullpen and league. We'll be back and let you know what happens here. 2-1 Seattle. He's almost unhittable at Safeco Field, as he has an ERA of 0.48. He does have 5 losses, so somebody's hitting him, but we could tell last night that this kid has an electric arm. Throws from an odd angle and has a tremendous sinking fastball at the high 90s.
You said it best, though, Al. Wouldn't it be fitting if a guy that has struggled with runners in scoring position this year could come through in this spot? 2 outs, runner at third. Randy Wynn is the tying run, the go-ahead run at the plate in Holiday. First pitch is a strike.
Gets on you pretty quick, but Holiday had 109 RBIs last season. Back in 07, he led the National League with 137 RBIs. He also had 114 the year before.
Popped up to the right side and out of play. Watch out.
What a great effort. Cardinal fans will appreciate that effort. Langerhans tries to go over the tarp and make a miraculous catch. Got a beat on it and willing to pay the price. He's not afraid to sacrifice his body to help his team win. Appreciate that effort.
Wasn't a lot of help for the fans, was there?
Well, you know, we always tell the fans not to be part of the action. It's like the enemy coming into, you know, the opposing dugout. You don't get a lot of help.
0-2, slowly hit. I would imagine that in these spots, Matt Holliday feels like it's always 0-2. There's what you were talking about, Al. Road games, 2-4, ERA of 7.31. But the thing about Holliday, we've said it so many times, the track record is there.
Oh, yes. And
he will come through.
He signed the big contract, $120 million.
Strikes out, ball scoots away, throw to first, and the Cardinals are through here in the 8th. Seattle leads it as we head to the 9th by the score of 2-1. $15 2/3. He's struck out 13 and allowed 7 walks. Couple of home runs and opponents hitting .204 against him. Ryan Langerhans will lead it off against Trevor Miller.
A hold last night.
And that's strike 1. The Cardinals will still have Pujols, Ludwig, and Freese. Freese a 3-hit night. Ludwig has the only RBI, and Pujols has a double tonight. So big bats coming up for St. Louis.
Well, stay tuned, because the Mariners suffered their 9th walk-off loss of the season Friday night at San Diego. It also marked their 15th loss in the opponent's last at bat.
There's a fly ball into shallow right for the first out. The Home Depot doing more on defense, and Ichiro at second base with nobody out. Jason Mott would pick him off. Then he would strike out the next 2, and that would give Mott a scoreless frame. All started with Jaime Garcia trying to get him off the hook. 7 innings, 5 hits, allowed a couple of runs. Both were earned. 1 walk. He struck out 7. And he also hit a man. Alfonso has hit into a double play in the 2nd. Struck out in the 4th and flied out in the 7th. 1-1. Here's a 2-1 pitch in on his hands. 2-2. Two is lifted out to right. 2 away.
And you just feel that you keep this 2-1 game, you go to the 9th inning, the bottom of 9th. Cardinals with who's coming up and just the recent history. The Mariners really struggling, losing so many games in the opponent's last at bat. The Cardinals have a good chance of taking this victory away from them.
Big bats, Pujols, Ludwig, Freeze. Here's Saunders. One ball, one strike. Saunders is 1 for 3.
Mike Carp is on deck if Saunders can extend it.
Ground ball, fair ball. Pujols, Miller sends us to the 9th. Bottom half. Pujols, Ludwig, Freeze coming up in a 2-1 ball game. Seattle with a lead of 2-1. They have 6 base hits. The Cardinals with 5. Vargas very, very good tonight. And now they'll turn it over to David Aardsma, who has 13 saves in 17 appearances. He's a former top draft pick of the San Francisco Giants, 22nd overall back in 2003. And you might remember his time with the Chicago Cubs. He was traded to Chicago for LaTroy Hawkins back in 2005. He's also spent time with the White Sox, Red Sox, and now Aardsma in a trade with Seattle.
A double switch is a change in battery. And Johnson now catching. Well, this may be one of those cases where you talk about Aardsma, who has really struggled of late. He did get his 13th save on June 13th. He's retired only 1 batter. But Dan, he has 2 blown saves and an 18 ERA, 8 earned runs in 4 innings in his last 6 games.
Here's Pujols. Outfield is as deep as you can get.
Ticket takers might ask for their ticket.
How deep center field is.
Nothing goes over their head that stays in the ballpark. Aardsma throw 94, 95 like the first 2 pitches. So League actually throws better and has a better velocity. You've got a struggling pitcher, but it's a save situation, so you go with your closer.
Pujols 1 for 5 against Ardsma.
Breaking ball didn't really look like it did much there, so Albert just looked at it. More pitches he sees, the better he likes it.
The 2-1. Pujols in the air to center. One away. We talked about the first hyphenated last name in baseball history last night. Well, Ardsma ranks first alphabetically.
AA.
There you go. There's Ludwig.
Some members of our truck just cringed.
Ludwig is hitless 0 for 1 with a strikeout against Ardsma. And that's ball 1. Right now, you'd have to say these are the 3 that you want up if you're the Cardinals, with Pujols, Ludwig, and Freese.
No doubt about it. Ludwig picked up his 40th RBI with a sac fly, scoring Albert Pujols, and Freese is 3 for 3.
That's hit down the left field line. He went down to get it, and a ground rule double. So the tying run is in scoring position. Winning run comes to the plate, and David Freese with 3 base hits tonight.
In my mind right there is just not knowing that Ludwig's a low ball, breaking ball hitter. I'm sure when he struck him out, he threw fastballs by him. There he throws another breaking ball, and he gets a double down in the corner.
David Freese, base hit, could tie it. And with as deep as this outfield is playing, I figure a single would allow Ludwig to score.
David Freese has been a very good clutch hitter. Second in the National League with a .377 home batting average.
Three for 3 on the night. Can he make it 4 for 4? 1 ball, 1 strike.
Leads all rookies in batting average hits. Second with his 33 RBIs.
Six hits aside now, 2-1 Seattle. The 1-1 pitch to David Freese. Here it comes. Ooh, good rip. The pitch at 96.
We put a $17,000 in the coffers, don't we?
Home run challenge here tonight. 1-2 the count.
None hit here tonight. This would be a perfect time.
Spoils the pitch. Ardsma gets it up there consistently at 96, 97. Occasionally he'll touch 98, even 99. Seattle trying to avoid a sweep. They're 2 outs away. Call third strike on Freese. And it's up to Colby. First time that David Freese has been retired tonight, and it comes via the strikeout.
Just kind of looked like he was looking for something else. Here's a strike. Not a good time to be looking for off speed and have a guy that throws this hard. You're not going to adjust if you're looking for the slider.
Colby tonight fly to center, fly to right, and struck out back in the 7th. He has 2 career walk-off home runs. Last back in mid-August against San Diego of a year ago.
He's had a home run in each of the first 2 games of the series.
Colby hits it on the ground to short. Handled there over to first, and Seattle holds on for the win. 2-1. our final tonight. Our player of the game presented by Budweiser, Jason Vargas, 94 pitches. Their starter and lefty picks up the win, 7 2/3. He was very good tonight. 5 hits, a run that was earned. Unfortunately, no home runs in the home run challenge tonight, but you can make a donation, 800-798-CURE. 800-798-CURE, or log on to pcf.org. We head to a break. Post-game show is coming up.